In the Outaouais, it's hard to tell when people are in need. In fact, could you recognize a young dropout? A lonely senior? A child who never gets enough to eat? Centraide Outaouais and the 71 community agencies it supports can. Huguette Joly, director of the Centre d'intervention en abus sexuels pour la famille de l'Outaouais, better known as the CIASF.
It's a beautiful day today, but the subject we have to talk about is not that beautiful. We are talking about sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is an explosion in a family. When it happens, the whole family can be destroyed by it. So they need help. That's why at the center we can help every member of the family to feel better. Let me share with you a story of a family where there was sexual abuse. There was a young girl called Annie. She came to this center, she was 9 years old. She could not speak. She stopped speaking the day that she told her mom that she had been abused sexually by the boyfriend of mom. And at school, she was not functioning at all. She did not have any friends. The rest of the family, they were calling her Weird Annie. So that little girl, she was ashamed. She even did things like if she was mentally handicapped, but she was not. That was a little girl that was really succeeding at school. But since the time that she told, she stopped functioning. So mom took her to the center. She did not believe her. So that was part of the reason why she stopped functioning. So finally, I work mostly with the mother so she can understand what her child was going through. And once the mother started receiving or just understanding what Annie was going through, we were able to start talking and working with Annie. By the time she finished her therapy, she was singing. She was not talking yet. She was singing. And mom, she left the boyfriend and she reunited the rest of the family with Annie. So the rest of the family, the brothers and the sisters, they were now supporting Annie in what she went through. And the whole family, they received therapy at the center. The boyfriend came to the center to receive help also. At first, he was saying that it was not true. But by the time he went through the 20th week of therapy, he was finally telling us that it was true. He did abuse Annie, and we asked him to tell Annie that she was not a liar, that she was right. So for us, this is a success story. So when the child receives help, that's not enough. The mother should also receive help and the other members of the family. That's why at the center we use an approach that is systemic for the whole family, not only for one person.
Mais même si on est triste, on peut être bien content d'une chose en tout cas.
Ouais, c'est que maintenant ils peuvent plus abuser de nous.
Bravo, bon travail.
Did you know that one girl for every 3 girls have been abused sexually? And there's also 1 boy for every 5 boys who have been abused sexually. So can you imagine if it would happen in your family? That you learn that your husband has abused your child? What would you think as a mother, as a sister? The man who did abuse or the woman who did abuse is also either a brother, a sister, a son to someone. Can you imagine that can happen? No, so that's why everybody needs help in the family. The root of the problem is the one that commit the abuse, so we have to treat that person too. But we cannot forget that child, that for the rest of her or his life will be affected by it. So that's why at the center we offer groups for children of 3 to 5 years old, 6 to 8, 9 to 12, and also for teenagers who have been sexually abused. We also have a program for children who are intrusive sexually. That program is for children from 7 to 12 years old. So we also work with their parents and with teenagers who have abused sexually and their parents. We offer services to adults who abuse sexually also. So those services are therapy to make sure that they can control those behaviors and stop sexual abuse. Every year, we receive more than 500 demands for services, and that's only for the Outaouais region. So can you imagine how many children have been abused sexually that we don't know? So please, if I'm just asking you that if you know that any child have been abused sexually, call somebody to tell, call the DPJ or call the police. We have to stop the abuse for children. When the Centre d'Intervention was created in 1987, Centraide d'Outaouais was there to support us. Today, Centraide d'Outaouais is there again to help us and to support us. I'm going to ask you something that is very special. Please help Centraide d'Outaouais. Every time you give to them, you give to a child who have been sexually abused.